Hello everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tina and it is a beautiful day to be creating with you. I am here to create this sketch here. I'm going to remix it, of course. This is from the Close to My Heart Volume 6 sketchbook, and me and the Creating With You gang are using this for the entire year. They've already purchased it, and since I made a commitment to use it for the entire year, even though you can't get it anymore because Close to My Heart is gone. Yeah. But we still got lots of stuff to do. So we're going to go ahead and do it. This is pattern 3 in the volume 6 book. And I'm going to be turning this into a 2-page layout. So I've already done 1 page and I am diving into my scrapbooking. I'm all set up and I'm really excited. But I'm going to change this up. You can kind of see here. We're really just playing with these 2x2 squares, and they show you different orientations on this, a little different picture size going on there, but let's dive in and have fun. I am going to be scrapbooking these pictures from Maui, and this was really hard for me to go back to because, you know, well, for starters, my scrapbooking goes all over the place. I'm not real good at scrapbooking in order, so it's just everywhere. But this is one of the historic sites, and my husband and I are not beach people. We do see the beach, but we really dive into the historic sites, the hiking, and all of that. And this is the prison that was on Maui that had been there for a really, really, really long time. And it did not make it. It was perished in the fires. So, these pictures became even more, and I was trying to make them work with kind of whatever, the highlighted paper collection was, but that just really didn't work for me, and it kind of made me stray away. So I grabbed some of my Deck the Palms, I threw it in there, I grabbed some Cape Cod, I threw it in there and said, I'll come back to it, and guess what? You guessed it, I'm back. All right, we are going to, I'm going to put this one up just so I can see it. I'm going to kind of do similar mirror to what I have. All 2x2 squares. Now, they show multiple where you do the 2x2 square and then you cut it on the diagonal. I'm not going to do that because I always just do my own thing. So to save time for this video, I've already prepped one. And now what I'm doing is I have a whole bunch of them that are simply across my my big piece of furniture that I have here. So I put adhesive on them and I stuck them up there. That's so when you hear that little sound, it's me pulling one off. All right, I'm going off the top here, and what ended up happening with this particular one is this layout is you get I just wanted to rotate that. You get to cut these in half, and then you use the other half someplace else. And what I decided was I was just going to use the pieces that I had as I brought them in. So I have like this half one right here because I had that left over, and then I have these. Okay. And I also like, if I have it like this, I sometimes find that doing my cutter is a lot faster. Let me just show you that. In case you want to, I'll just turn my piece over and line it up. And then just cut them like that. These have adhesive on it, so it's kind of, I just stuck them right up there for me to use again, just so you know. Right? All right, gonna make it work. Okay, so I have a couple of these half ones, but I have that from doing exactly what I just showed you, where I just kind of went in and put those on. I'm leaving some gaps in between. And one of the things that I like about this particular thing is we're just using 2x2 squares. I'm currently in kind of we're actually working with hexagons this month as a group, but I have been kind of working with 2x2 squares. Now I'm lining up my points here and here. They're not going to have perfect gaps here, but it's all gonna work out, and it's gonna be really pretty. All right, instead of doing the halves, What I did was I like to cut 2x2 squares a lot more than I like to cut the triangles. I just went ahead and put them on top, and it added a little extra dimension, so I ended up liking it. I just kept working with the pieces that I had. I think I'll probably do at least one more set of this particular layout for Hawaii. It just kind of really works with my pictures, and you can put anything, you know, anything you want on it, of course. A little flamingo. This was not even from, some of these I pulled in some extra pieces. This is from Mix-Ins. This is from, I don't know what that's from actually, but it just worked. And I said, okay, so I'm going to grab it. And I let my papers travel together. So if they match and I like them together, I'll just grab them and throw them in with that particular paper. It's one of the way, if you're familiar with the Close to My Heart Mix-Ins that they always had, it was one of the ways I always used up my Mix-Ins. Okay, so I'm running low on my little half ones, my little spoiled half ones. I think I will, I don't want to deal with the adhesive, so we'll just go ahead. I'm just going to line this up from point to point on my cutter. There we go. That'll work. And then I'm going to want another one of these for the bottom that I can already see. But this is such a great thing to do when you don't have any more paper, when you're at the end and you need to, you know, you maybe want to stretch a little bit. I think that this is just such a great layout to do. Okay, so for this one here, let's grab our adhesive. And if you are looking to use up, you know, your stash, this is such a great place to be, because that is a huge focus that I have, is using what we already have. You know, we've all spent so much money on all of our craft supplies, and you know, I want to feel good about the purchases that I've made. And I think one of the ways that I will feel good about those purchases is to kind of use what I've had, you know, meet that investment. Okay, so I just copied this, so this will run across the top again, but this is going to be my right page. And so you can see that I put, similar to what we have right here, I put it down in that bottom right corner. So for this one, since I'm going to create this 2-page layout, I'm going to put this in this corner over here on the left. And then we'll talk about the other change that I've made to the size here. Now, I may not want this bottom to be identical to what I had. So for that, I'm going to change this up, you know, just a little bit. And we'll see what we have. I have a couple of these halfsies. There we go. And you don't even have to put out the same number. If you want to increase the number of triangles that you have, increase the number of triangles you have. You know, you could do the entire page if you wanted to. You just keep adding. Okay, so I have this, and thinking I would like a half on this one right here. It might be easier for me to switch off, but because I have a half and something. Let's just go ahead and we'll put the pink dots even though it's on the other one. Oh, I'm going to switch it to some diagonal stripes. Not a huge change, just a small change. There we go. I'll put the half up here. Just right on top. It adds some dimension. There we go. Okay, so now I decided that this is set up to be this way, and I wanted to change it. I wanted to bring in a darker brown. So what I'm going to do is, and I want it to be equally spaced all the way around for this. I'm going to put my paper upside down so I have less chances of getting things caught on the blade. I'm at the 1/4 inch, and we're going to rotate this clockwise every single time and cut it 4 times. And this will just make sure that we equally cut the portions that are across the top and the side. And there we go. Okay, so what I wanted to do was I looked at my pictures, and there's some of this rich, deep brown in everything. It's very common when you see the wood structures for them to be this really deep, rich brown. And that is how I wanted to bring this in, and I thought this would be perfect. But this, of course, only exists in my mind. So let's see if we like it while we put it together. Okay. And I basically am just looking for the 1/4 of an inch that we cut off to go all the way around. And this is a great way to kind of take a sketch that you have and just change it up to do your own thing. Make one little change. See if you like it. If you like it, look, I do. That looks really good, and I think it's going to really pop with the colors that I'll be adding. I'm going to go ahead and do the other page that I have. Now, I'm going to only complete one page, but I wanted to show you how I'm setting up for this 2-page layout. The main reason why I'm going to complete one page is because that's the one that I know I'm doing, and this one will be set up, and I'll do kind of like all my embellishments and have some fun with this one. Okay. Once again, just 1/4 all the way around. Isn't that pretty? So now what I can do is, because I have these kind of darker tones with the pops of lighter color, everything I can bring into it can be white or lighter colored, or maybe a little bit of this in the background. I've decided that I'm going to bring in some clover, some white, and I'm going to highlight this on the one side. Now, I tend to like to do a title on the left. It's just my thing. And so this is the one that I have set up. All right, I'm going to double matte this picture. Now, for this one here, which, by the way, this is on Prison Avenue, and I have a picture of that. These are the additional pictures, and one of the things is when I'm scrapbooking a trip, I don't throw away any of my pictures or get rid of them. I move them into an extras, but it's Prison Street. I lied. Prison Street is where this is, so I have to get that, but this is kind of what the room looks like. They're very sparse, of course, because it's a prison. And I need to type this and get this journaling in. I zoomed in. This is something that I like to do when I'm on vacation. If I know I'm going to want to get something in journaling, or I find something that is like of interest that I want to include, I will like super zoom in so that I can have it. And it says the cells are entirely unfurnished, but the prisoner is at liberty to furnish it in any order that his funds will allow him to. And he is also free to have any groceries for his palate that he can procure. But each prisoner is allowed 1 loaf of bread per day as prison fare. So that means they got a loaf of bread. That was their whole thing. No restrictions are placed on the use of cards or tobacco, or any sedate individual could therefore lay back all day with a pipe in his mouth and enjoy himself at a game of euchre, as well as though he was comfortably stowed away in a beer house. And I thought that was so interesting. So you're getting nothing. You're sleeping on a hardwood floor and you're getting a loaf of bread, but you could just lay back and do whatever. And the grounds are really pretty. Okay, so I just thought that was kind of really interesting, and I will type that up. And I try not to use my own handwriting for my journaling, but I do have some. Like, you always want to put some of your handwriting somewhere. You know, like, I don't have any handwriting of my grandmother's. Like, it does disappear if you don't put it in a couple of places. So pick and choose where you're going to do that. But I do like my journaling typed. Okay, so I have this on a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 of, this is a dark mocha, a really dark, no, this is espresso. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. That's going to be really pretty. And since I cut this in, I know my pictures are going to overlap. So here's the historic site. This is the prison gatehouse. All right. And we always find the historic locations, but boy, am I glad that we took the time to find these places while we were there. They really have made them very special. Okay. I'm going to put this on this side over here. And then this is the actual, these are where the rooms are, the cells that I have pictured. Look, I even got the prison rules. This is the size of the cell. This one was filled with some historic stuff. And then I got the other picture that I showed with the, you know, the fake, I don't want to call him a dummy. I don't know what you, the person that sits in the cell so you can really see the size. All right. I'm going to put this one on here. There we go. And how it shows it is, you know, they're up here like this, right kind of next to it. But I've made this a little smaller, so I know that they're going to overlap a little bit. And it's just how much of each area I want to cover. So I think I'm going to come in, and I don't want to cover all of my, the detailing that I have up there. Another thing I could do is just bring them over here. This is kind of a favorite of mine to have two photos like this, so I tend to go to it. And I think that's really good placement for this. I think that's where I'm going to go ahead and put these. And then what I can do when I come over here is I can, let me slide this over just a little bit more. I can come in and I can choose to lay out my pictures. I may not do another 4x6, it all depends. I can choose to lay out my pictures a little differently, or kind of have the same thing, maybe put 2 up here and then 2 more down here and have them coming across. Okay, I'm a slow scrapbooker. My struggle is real. All right, I have this stamp set that I've brought in, and what I like to do is I have so many stamps. I could use my stamps for, I don't know, the next 5 years, but I pulled this one out of my stash, just grab a scrapbooking one. What I like to do is grab one and put it out and leave it out for a couple weeks. I used to do a month, but I plan on scrapbooking a little bit too much for that. So I grabbed this one. I'm going to try to use it on my next few layouts, along with some embellishments that I am destashing. Now, my group is working with hexagons as part of the challenge. So for any of you who might be watching this, there are all kinds of hexagons in these, those UV coated embellishments from last year. All right, I think I'm all set. I really do like the way this looks. I'm going to go ahead and get out my foam tape for this one. Really bringing in this clover, and then I will add some additional items to this as I go. I have the mint and I have the clover ready, so I will probably add this on the second round. And then I've also pulled in some pink bling, and then I have the stickers that went with this, and I think that's going to give me a good balance for this. All right, let's make sure that's straight. It won't matter. There's a 50-50 that it's going to be crooked for me. Sometimes I think I must walk around with my head slightly tilted. All right, there's a little thing right there. I think I don't know, might be a sprinkler. I'm going to cover that up in the photo. I'm just going to change those off a little bit, and I like that. Okay. I really feel like you can put the pictures on exactly like they show in the sketch, but also you can just kind of create it and treat it like it's a background page. And that's what I do when I see things like this. All right, there we go. All right, I always have a little bit of white off to the side. So I just have a little bit of white paper right here, and I'm gonna do some stamping. All right, there's this feeling, it says blessed, happy, special, and you put the word in there. And then there's a loving right now, incredible moments. I really do like the incredible moments. I kind of keep going back to it. It's one of my favorites, but I haven't used this stamp nearly as much as I would like. I'm gonna grab the feeling as well. No, I'm not. I'm gonna pass on that. And I think this one here with the location and the date and everything, that this is going to be a great one to add to this. I will, of course, have to add an entire thing to my Hawaii album about that a lot of what George and I did are, you know, it's no longer there. So bringing in this dark espresso color makes it so that I can also bring that in a couple of other ways as well. I'm going to stamp this off. Okay, there we go. That's going to be great. And then I like the pink. I actually like the pop of this is like a raspberry, but I'm not going to use that. I'm going to kind of tone it down just one and go with flamingo, or if you have pixie, the older pixie, that would work. But it's just like bubble gum. So if you have something that is similar to bubble gum, that will work as well for this color combination. But obviously you're going to be remaking this with whatever you have, and that says Incredible Moments. Okay, and my goal is to just use up old embellishments and my stamps on all of the scrapbooking that I'm doing right now. You know, it's kind of like I said, I really want to dive in and use these wonderful things that I bought. Okay, I'm going to trim this out. We'll see how straight it is. And here we go. I'm even going to trim it from here to here because it's going to make it easier for me to just kind of pull out my scissors and get this last bit. And I have this little piece here that says Incredible Moments. I'll put that went right on my floor in case you guys were wondering. I call it Craft Room Barbershop. I have a floor that I get to sweep up. So I throw everything down there. All right, just moving it a little bit closer. Here we go. Okay, this one for me is not as straight, but that's okay because I'm probably going to tuck that. Okay, let's add a few things to this. So the first thing I want to do is I want to grab some of my stickers. I'm trying to stretch my stickers. I have a lot to do for Hawaii, and I think most of it's going to fall on this. Another thing I'm doing to extend is I have a stencil, and I'll be using the stencil to kind of bring some stuff in. So I'm kind of looking at what I have. This goes this way, which is really nice. It's just kind of, I don't want to cover up. I don't think I want to cover up any more of my picture. All right, I'm going to fill this out, and I think this is going to end up right down here. So I'm going to lay it there, but I'm not really going to put it down because I'll have to handwrite that, and that's a whole thing for me, the handwriting. All right, I was not blessed with good penmanship. All right, I'm just getting some of the sticky off in case I have to lift this. And this is a pretty big leaf. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with this, and I'm going to swap and use this one on the second page probably. So there was a smaller one there. I'm going to grab these two. Okay. So if you are working with Deck the Palms, so many of us got this for free. Close to My Heart did a giveaway, and everybody was talking about how I got Deck the Palms. I was like, I got Deck the Palms. I got candy. I got candy. So we all have a lot of this. And we are going to put this right here. And I don't want to hide these, so I'm going to bring them out a little bit and put them over here instead. There we go. And they're just put on top of each other. That leaves me with this right here. And I did bring in a zip strip just in case if I had anything that I wanted to add a little bit to. This one's real easy for me because I do this a lot. I'll just take a little bit of adhesive and run it across the top of something like this. And then I grab my piece, whatever it happens to be. It's not always one of these are just the tops of the paper. They're little decorative 1/2-inch strips. But you can just make them with regular paper. There we go. That'll just add a little bit to that as well. There's a thing here that says Incredible Moments that I stamped just a second ago. I'm going to lift, yep, I'm going to lift that up and I'm going to put that right there. Just a nice little, like, just a little bit of things there. Okay, so I have some green, and now I'm adding the mint, which were both in these color combinations, or both of these were part of this kit. Now, I like to dump my embellishments so that I can go through them, since I don't have one of my usual cases with me. I put these in cellophane bags. I punch them all out, and then I just took my labeler, and I'll carry them like this, and I dump them back and forth as I'm using them. I'm really trying to use them up. And the other thing is, if I know I'm not going to use something, I have now started to kind of move those over and say it's okay to let them go. I have this cute little camera. I think I'll save that. All right, I know what I'm diving for here, so there are some little flowers. Yeah, the other containers work a lot better. There's like little flowers in here, and I'm just going to try to look for those. There's one. I like the little heart. Just little touches. You can really use anything. Let's see. That's all I do. I keep adding. I really have to pull all the buttons out of here because I don't know that I'll ever use the buttons. I would have to do an art challenge to get somebody to inspire me to use buttons. There it is. There's the other one I'm looking for. Okay. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to add a couple of flowers to this. It's a great way to kind of use some of these up. My goal is to use up something from my stash on every single layout that I'm doing. And it's been working for me so far. All right, I'm going to add this third one over here. Notice I'm going right over those lines. Okay, I have a little butterfly here. Just gonna grab a piece of foam tape for that. I really do like these little touches. And as long as they match, it's amazing. There we go. Or close enough. I'm okay with close enough. There we go. And now I'm going to bring in some of the bling that I have. And now's when I'm going to feel really comfortable using those pops. And this might be rosy and this might be raspberry. Close enough. That's where I am in life. So we're going to do a large one. And I think I'll do the large one. I think I'll do one of each. So of these colors. That'll be really nice. I'm doing mediums on the smaller of these flowers. There we go. Yeah, that looks really pretty. And then I might even color my star in down here with a pen that's about that color. Okay, so I have this one right here. I'm gonna grab the dark one. Once again, I'm not sure if this is a raspberry pack or a rosy. It doesn't matter. It's close enough. Okay, there we go. I think I like that. I don't want to do too much. And after I get this on, I'm probably going to add, like, with the stars here, I'm probably going to add a little something right over here as well. And I think I'd like to add a couple right over here. So since I have this star that's down here, I'm going to add a star A little medium bling there. And I'll do a large out here. There we go. Okay, keeping it easy. Okay, so the other thing that I have is out of this one right here. Wherever my camera goes, that's going to end up on something. But I have these green leaves, and they were part of these UV. You can really use any kind of leaves, but these were part of the UVs from last year, and I would like to incorporate some of those. I have to remember, though, that I have a second page. This one looks like I didn't get that all the way out. Okay. So I have, this is a 2, and then there's a 3. There's a single in here. So I'll save the 1 to go with the 3, just in case. There we go. I know that this is going to be covered up, but it will be there dimensional wise. I don't like the second one. I just wipe that off. The second one is too much of the exact same size. So I'm going to look for that single and put that single right where I want to see it. Probably would have liked the 3 here. There we go. And then what I'll do is I'll just pop right in there. Happens all the time, right? Okay, I'm gonna put this here. I think I'm just gonna do the 2. I'm not loving them being overlapped on each other, so I think I'm just gonna do the 2 at the top and then put this other one right down here. There we go. That way I can put that in there, and then I'll just add a little bit of bling there after I get this in place. Okay, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much for letting me spend some crafty time with you. I am looking forward to really diving into my scrapbooking. I have lots of my pictures sorted and laid out, and I just want to share kind of what I'm doing and hope that maybe I can inspire you guys to create and craft along with me. This is a really simple layout. It didn't take much. It's a great way to stretch your papers out and create these backgrounds. I'm actually really liking this, and I'll make sure that I share the second page with a done layout share when I get through the summer. I'm really looking forward to doing a lot of scrapbooking this summer. So thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, you found anything useful, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. It really does help me out here in the YouTube community. Feel free to share with your friends, and if you leave me a comment, I'll make sure to get back with you. Thanks so much and have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey everybody, I wanted to pop back in and show you how the 2-page layout turned out. I actually ended up just letting my process of me thinking it through just kind of do my own thing here. So I ended up not doing what I thought I would. I switched this picture right here. This is actually me laying down on the ground under a tree and taking a picture up. And I thought this was really cool because this is the view that a prisoner might have had. And then I moved this over here because this here is the gatehouse, which is where the master of the prison, that's the title they give them, and his family would have lived. Whereas this here is the prison area with the cells. And I thought that it flowed better, that all of this was about the prison, and then this here was about like the gates and the land. I really like how it turned out. I didn't want this to be over tropical. I am in Maui at this point, so I didn't want it to be over tropical, and I think adding in the darker greens and those more browns really did help me with kind of getting a good balance on this. And I think that's where I might land for a couple of my other locations. I put this one on foam tape, added some more of those little embellishments that I'm trying to kind of work through. And then the other thing I decided to do was add some splatter. So I added some white splatter from the gloss spray. I really like these. I added that after on this one, but then, you know, smart enough that I added it a little before on this one here. So yeah, I ended up liking it, and here is the final. Thanks so much.